Adult Teacher Podcast. Are you a student looking for a career path that's both fulfilling and in high demand? Look no further than the building trades. From carpentry to plumbing, electrician to HVAC technician, the building trades offer a wide variety of careers that are essential to the construction industry and provide a stable and lucrative career path. This podcast is dedicated to exposing students to the many opportunities available in the building trades. We'll be speaking with professionals from the industry, exploring different career paths, and offering advice and guidance for those interested in pursuing a career in the building trades. Whether you're a middle school or high school student exploring your options, or a college student looking for a new direction, this podcast is for you. So sit back, relax, and join us as we explore the exciting world of building trades.
Hi, my name's Nicoly.
Hi, my name's Ainsley,
and welcome to the Dope Student Podcast. And today here, who do we have?
Natasha Scott.
Okay, Miss Natasha. So today we're going to be asking you some questions about your career. So first question is, can you introduce yourself and tell us about your career as a sheet metal worker?
I'm Natasha Scott, and I've been a sheet metal worker for 25 years in Local 19 Sheet Metal Workers Union.
How did you first become interested in sheet metal working?
I saw an ad in the newspaper, and I just went and applied for it. Well, I don't know that I was interested. I was interested in finding a job, and I found a career.
Okay, how long is the apprenticeship to become a sheet metal worker?
It's 4 years schooling, and then they added 6 months for what they call salting, which is like trying to turn non-union members and companies over to union. But that's not for everybody. So for some people, it's 4.5. Some people, it's 4 if you don't do salting.
What is your typical day like as a sheet metal worker?
It can vary. So I'm in the shop right now, which is opposite of being out in the conditions. I bang duck all day. It's very loud. It's noisy. I have fun. You can be out on a job site where you're working in the rain, no roof, buildings open, no windows. It varies. It's exciting and different pretty much every day in this career. So you can be at one place one day and another job site the next week.
Okay, what are the biggest challenges that you face in your job?
I think the biggest challenge is that I never know whether or not I'm having problems because I'm a woman. I think that's one of my biggest problems because any other challenge work-wise, somebody's always around if you need help, or I've never found any work conditions to be a challenge. But being a woman in these trades is a challenge in itself because the men normally don't want to work with women. They feel like they can't curse, they can't talk how they want, they can't be themselves. So my challenge was to overcome men not wanting to work with me. So now I make them feel comfortable where you can speak how you speak and have your normal conversations as you normally would. So I'm like one of the guys now.
What did you find most rewarding about your work as a sheet metal worker?
The reward is when I step into a building or when I walk past the building and I'm like, I did that. I worked on that job. We installed the heat and the units and the air conditioning in that building. So the buildings they turn out looking so nice. And especially if you're able to go in like to a restaurant and I can look up and say, hey, that's our ductwork. That's the biggest reward for me.
What kind of project have you worked on so far through your career?
What kinds of projects?
Yes.
Hospitals. I've been at St. Christopher Hospital, Children's Hospital, University of Penn, Merck Pharmaceutical, Verizon's. We do industrial and commercial. So.
All right. What skills are important for success in sheet metal work?
Communication skills, having a sense of common sense and awareness. If something doesn't seem right, don't just overlook it. Use your instincts. A lot of people get hurt thinking they know too much or they familiar with something. So to have that instinct is the greatest skill, I say, because math and all All of those other skills are taught. You can learn how to do sheet metal, but common sense and instincts, the main factor is not getting hurt doing your job.
Okay, what kinds of training or education do you need to become a sheet metal worker?
You just need to finish high school, a GED or a high school diploma, and then apprenticeship is a 4-year training in itself. They'll teach you everything you need to know. If you're not good at math, they'll bring you up to speed. You have books. I think they give out iPads now. They moving up with technology, so you got hands on. They'll teach you how to make fittings. You weld. They teach you how to weld, sketch, service. It's a lot of training that you learn. So all you need to come in is a GED or a high school diploma.
What advice would you give to someone who is interested in pursuing a career in sheet metal work?
I would say go for it. It's so many trades out here. I would say the mechanical trades are the best. No offense to the other trades, but of course, I think that my sheet metal workers are better than any other trade. I love it. Again, I had fun at work, and I would say just go for it. I don't regret a second of my career.
Okay, so what is the gender balance like in the sheet metal industry?
We're probably 1%. We're probably women, or probably 1% of men. We have about, I'm gonna say 12 to 1,500 members, and maybe 30 plus women. So the the balance is not a balance at all. It's off.
How has being a woman affected your experiences as a sheet metal worker?
One made me realize that you leave your problems at home. So a lot of guys come to work mad at their wives, and then they got to work with you, and they're like, "Yeah, I don't want to hear your mouth today." So, again, I make the guys I work with feel like I'm one of the guys. It's a male dominated industry. I always say we as women are breaking a glass. We're infiltrating. We're working our way in. And we got to make them feel comfortable with letting us in, too. We can't just come in and say we taking over. We want to be equal, so that's what we need to portray.
Okay, so what kinds of opportunities for advancement are available in sheet metal work?
There's a lot of opportunities. Testing and balancing is an advancement. CAD work, AutoCAD, sketching, project manager. You'll start out as an apprentice. You'll become a journey person. And then whatever you excel in is where they'll put you. That's where you'll end up. So if you take more sketching classes, or you do well in testing and balancing or AutoCAD, or if you show interest in being a project manager, you don't always have to have that degree, but when you graduate your apprenticeship, you get college credits toward certain majors, or certain colleges will take them toward like project managing or engineering or something like that. So you can just keep climbing the ladder as a sheet metal worker.
What do you think the future of the sheet metal industry looks like?
I think the future is bright if we bring more women in. We need more. We need more women. I mean, everybody knows we're smarter most of the time. I'm gonna just put that out there. Sorry, Mr. Jared. I mean, we are. So men have a one-track way of thinking, and we just bring in that diverse way of thinking and problem solving, and just a different approach to how to do things. I think more women I see a lot of project managers now that are women, engineers. I think that we're coming in, and the future is bright. The more women we bring in, we need to even the scales.
Okay, how do you stay up to date with the latest technology and techniques in sheet metal work?
Um, there are classes at our training center that they always offer. So if it's something that you're interested in, you can go down. They learn it. They got rigging classes. Uh, they have all kinds of classes. So anything new, like fire life and safety now, dampers is a big thing. Anything new that's coming out, they'll offer it to us at our training center, and you just go down and sign up. And if you're interested, that's how you can stay up to date with everything that's going on. Technology wise, it is all inclusive. So I think that they're doing everything on iPads now at our training center, and they keep you up to date with the technology.
How do you ensure your safety while you're working with sheet metal?
I always ensure my safety. I always say that's number one to me. So if I'm working around somebody that's just sloppy or clumsy or throw their scraps of metal or plastic or trash on the floor, I'm like housekeeping first. So you got to have a clean, neat area. You won't trip over nothing just to make sure you don't get hurt. You always wear your PPE, safety glasses, cut resistance gloves because sheet metal is sharp. Be careful when you're walking past objects. I've cut my leg, cut my jeans plenty of times. So you got to watch your surroundings. Again, it goes back to another question you asked me earlier. Common sense and just your instincts. Just being aware and careful. That will ensure your safety.
Okay, what are some common misconceptions people have about sheet metal working?
They think that they call us tin knockers. So they think we just knock metal all day. And again, I've threw out some examples of other things that we do like testing and balancing, CAD, sketching, project managers, a slew of other things. So the misconception is a lot of people don't know what we do. They don't know what HVAC stands for. And then they think when they find out what we do that we just bang duck and knock tin all day. Hence the name Tin Knockers.
Can you share a memorable experience from your career as a sheet metal worker?
A memorable experience. I have a lot of those actually. Let's see. Well, a good one or a bad one?
A good one.
Okay. I'll give you two good ones. Graduating my apprenticeship was everything to me. And it was in 2002. I was 22 years old, and that meant the world to me. Like, I made it. I'm a journey person now. I will never forget. I still got my class picture. I look at it occasionally. I still have my award. It's in a frame. And then another one was just a week ago. I got my 25-year pin for being a sheet metal worker for 25 years. They gave us a dinner dance, and that will always be a memorable experience to me as well because all my classmates were there that I did my apprenticeship with. The guys I knew since I was 18 years old, I first met in that classroom. They were all there that night, and that will go down in my books as another memorable experience.
Okay, what do you think metal sheet workers is like a valuable career option for women?
What's the question? Would I?
It's like, why do you think that metal sheet working is a valuable career option for women?
It's valuable because we need more women in the trades. A lot of women, they think that they can't do it, like it's a men's job. I think it's valuable for us because we bring a lot to the table. Like I said, we come up with new ways of doing things and different, like they say, what they say, is more ways to skin a cat than whatever the saying is. I always try to say it at work and I jack it up. But it's more than one way to skin a cat. That's it. So I come to work and you have a foreman and different journey people, and they do things and they've been doing things this way for 30 years and this is how we do it. And I'm like, well, this is easier for me to do this way. And I'm not an apprentice, so I can present my idea to the table and show new ways of doing it. Women are very different than men when it comes to thinking and how we do things. So I think to sheet metal workers, women are an asset.
What do you hope to see change in the sheet metal industry in the future?
The fact that we're one percenters. I would really like that to change. I would like to see more women on the job sites. Again, I'm in a shop right now. I'm the only woman. It's like 30 guys in there. I'm the only woman. Most of the job sites I went on, I would run into other women trades, like maybe an electrician or a carpenter, but I would be the only sheet metal worker on that job. It's like we're spread so thin that one of us could be on a certain amount of jobs. We'll never work with each other. So I really hope to see more women get into our trade and excel, make it out of the apprenticeship and do well.
What do you enjoy doing outside of work?
What do I enjoy?
Yeah, what do you enjoy doing outside of work?
Relaxing. Relaxing, going out to dinner, yard work, decorating my house. Decorating is huge to me. I love decorating. Not painting and doing physical, like remodeling, just decorating.
All right, last but not least, now this is your time to promote yourself or your business. How can our watchers get in contact with you?
So, again, I'm Natasha Scott. If you were to call the Sheet Metal Workers Union Hall, I'm the only Natasha. You don't even have to remember my last name. They'll be able to get in contact. Or my Instagram is Tash TASH underscore 1021. Don't know my Facebook page is probably Natasha Scott. But my business is just sheet metal work. I'm promoting us. We need more women in. And those are my contacts. If you call down Local 19 Sheet Metal Workers Union or Training Center, they'll get you in contact with me as well.
Okay, so that's it for today's episode on the Dope Student Podcast. Bye.